Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tinman here. We're back with another showcase for you, and today we're ranking the albums from the band Helmet, and we're doing from 1990 to 1997. We're only going to 97 when the band officially broke up, not the new Helmet recreation that started quite a few years ago. We're just focusing on the early stuff because the early stuff is the best, and I'll tell you why as we go. So we'll start with number 7, shall we? Straight into it. Number 7 is the recently released Helmet live album. The reason this is last is because it is a live album. Because live albums are good, but generally, I like certain live albums. If it's Live After Death, Maiden, I can put that on. That's fine. But live albums I don't tend to really gravitate to. But it is part of a collection. I got to have it, and it's the early stuff, so I had to have it. So this one, it's a great release. It is a great release. It's an official release, I do believe, because it was announced via the band, via their Instagram. So this is early recordings. So you can see there. So CBGB's and Australia in Melbourne. So 1990 and 93. Good tracks on here. So before we get into it, look at the nice live shot there of Paige and, is that Henry? Is that Henry or is it? Yeah, that's Henry there. That's it. Yeah. And then on the back, you've got the old lineup, the original lineup. So I can never say his name right. Is it Mengade? Peter Mengade? I might be wrong. I might be butchering his name. I've always called him Mengade anyway. But there's Peter there. And then, of course, the classic, the master, John Stanier, my favourite drummer of all time. I love lots of different drummers. I love thrash metal drummers. I love punk drummers. I've got a varied list of drummers, and I love playing fast myself. But John Stanier is my favourite drummer of all time. His groove, his technique, the way he whips I could talk for hours about the dude. He's unbelievable. It really is. So anyway, tracks on here: intro, impressionable. These are like early versions of other songs that Your Head, Repetition, Sinatra, Rumble, Ironhead, Give It, Blacktop Oven. In the Meantime, it's really early stuff. It's good, but like I say, it's a live album, isn't it? It's a live album. We're not fussed on live albums. So on the printed inner, you've got live pics there. They're all there, giving it some love, giving it some beans. And then you've got a bit of a gumph about the both sides, about when they played and, the story behind it. Got a bit of a terrible bloody scuff there, but it doesn't matter. It's all good. It doesn't matter. I'm not too arsed about, seam splits. They're not the biggest thing in the world. There's worse things going on than seam splits. You know what I mean? So there's your vinyl. As you can see in the background there, that was where I filmed the original ones. If you've noticed, new background, nice and plain, so you can see what's going on rather than distractions. So there's your inner label there, and inner label B there. So there you go, on black. Yeah, I decided to go for a plain white background behind me. I was going to have pictures, I was going to have something there. I know I was on the other side of the room and I had my record player with some various pictures on the wall, but I thought, let's keep it clean, white, and you can see exactly what we're showing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would be number 7 in the ranking for me, the live album. Good, but it's a live album. There you go. Okay, number 6 is, it's not a vinyl this time, it's a CD. And it's the Helmet Wilmer's Rainbow EP. There's a funny story of how I got this. I'll tell you. But this basically is, they never released this on vinyl, so I've always had the CD. So this was Wilmer's Rainbow and Sam Hell original recordings, and then live tracks from various places. And the beauty about this is it had Just Another Victim on it, live, which is superb. What a track. Yeah, this was just a Wilmer's Rainbow EP. There you go. Disc there. That's it. Various bits and bobs. So, I was buying this from my then local record store way back when it came out. We're talking, when Betty came out, so we're talking 94. And it was £5. And I was like, amazing, great. So then, I think it was £5 or £6. So I put it at the counter and I put it down like that. And my mate Will was stood next to me. He was going, £5 for so many tracks. 1, 2, how many tracks were it? 7 tracks. He goes, £5 for 7 tracks. It could have even been less than a £5. It could have been £3 or something like that. Because they looked at it and went, oh, it's a single. It's a slightly extended single. So they put it in for like £3. So my mate Will is going next to me going, £3? That's unbelievable bargain. For so many tracks, that's such and such a track. I can't believe that. And I'm going, Will, shut up. Shut up. Because the guy's walking past and he's listening. You know, he's getting stuff, and he's getting the disc from the back for me, because that was when they put CDs, you know, behind the counter for, you know, because people robbed them. And I'm going, Will, shut up. And he's going, I can't believe the bargain. I can't believe how much of a deal it is. I can't believe that's you know, that should be way more price. So then this guy behind the counter goes, hang on a minute. Goes on the computer and he goes, oh, yeah, sorry, I've priced it wrong. It should be $12.99. Thanks, Will, you complete bellend. Because if his fucking mouth kept his bloody mouth shut, I would have got that for like £3. No, I'd end up having to pay 12. I should have put it back. I should have put it back. Oh, I love him. He's a bellend, but I love him. Anyway, there you go. So that was number 6. Because live album again, live EP. It's very short. It's got Just Another Victim, but, you know, yeah. Number 5 is... People are going to be shouting at me for this. Strap it on. How can it be number 5? It's number 5 for me because it's a great album. And to be honest, every release, all these Helmet albums I'm going to show you, they've all got great tracks on them. It's just that I don't listen to this that much. And I should, I know. But yeah, it's a great album and I just don't play it enough. It's my own fault. But Strap It On, classic front cover there. Back cover there with the track listings there. Repetition, Rude, Bad Mood. Sinatra I can do without. It's just too long and too long-winded for me. When it comes on, I go, ugh. You know what I mean? It's just dun 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 dun. It's just too long for me, and that's another reason why. FBLA is a great track. I love FBLA. That's a superb one. Blacktop's great. Murder, Make Room. There are some good tracks on it. I just don't listen to it all that much, so that's why it's what was it? 7, 6, 5. That's why it's 5. Okay. Gatefold. I think this is a reissue, yeah. So it's like a poster with your band members there. It's quite cool. And then this one, because it's a reissue, I think, yes, dead thick. One of these new reissues that are unbelievably thick. On beautiful white vinyl. Of course it would be, wouldn't it? You know, nice inner labels there. On the back. We're getting, where are we going? That's better. There you go. And there your track listings there. This record is the only record in my collection where the middle hole is so big, I struggle to get this on and off the turntable. And I don't know what to do because I don't really want to tamper with, you know, the inner here to try and make it bigger, but because I could wreck it and it could be loose. But my God, is it a mission to get this on and off the turntable. Bloody hell, it is. But yeah, it is a great album. There are some great tracks. It's just Sinatra for me. I can give or take it. I've struggled with that one a little bit. And I just don't play it that often. So that's why we're there. There you go. So that's that one. Strap It On. Okay, number 4. I keep losing track of where we're at. Number 4 is Aftertaste. Yes, their last album before they broke up. This is where they were a 3-piece. Because Rob, who was in... was it Rust in Pieces, and he left these to join Biohazard. I think that was the reason. I'm not sure, but because Rob was he on Betty? I'll have to have a look. Anyway, so they were 3-piece. Whether that is the 3 on the front cover of them, I don't know. But this was the last album before they broke up. Great album. Track listings on the back there. Some crackers on this. Pure's great. Exactly what you wanted. Great music video for that. Driving Nowhere. Birth Defect's a great one. Broadcast Emotion. Diet Aftertaste. High Visibility is a great one, and Crisis King, the last track on this, that's a good groover. That is a good one. It's a good album. It is a good album. It's not a par on some of their others, but it is a good album. So there's your gatefold there, lyrics, some images there. And this one was a reissue? I don't even know. Probably a reissue. Let's have a look here. Nice black dust jackets. And this one, beautiful orange. Look at that. Nice inner labels. Very nice. And then on the back, there you go. Track listings there. Now, I saw Helmet. I only saw them live once, and it was on the Aftertaste tour. They were playing with, they were supporting Korn, and I didn't go to that. And I didn't believe they should be supporting Korn because they were good enough themselves. Anyway, they were supporting Korn. I didn't go and see that. My mate Ron had gone to see Korn, I think, and Helmet was supporting. And he came back and he had a Helmet cap. I remember he had a beautiful cap and it had Helmet on. I was like, my God, you went to the gig? And yeah. He goes, they were incredible. I'm like, oh. So me and my mate Day, we We didn't Google, because there wasn't Google back in 97. What we did was we looked in the Kerrang and we looked where the little flyer was and of where they were playing next. And turns out that Helmet were doing a one-off themselves. I don't think they had a support band in Nottingham Rock City. So me and Dave were just like, should we just go? Fuck it, should we just go? Just go tomorrow. I think I called in sick in work. I broke my arm or whatever I did. You know what I mean? I've got a broken arm. I can't come in. And I went to see Helmet next day with Day, and they were incredible. Now, the beauty thing is we went to HMV. Me and Day, my mate Day, we used to go to gigs an awful lot back in the 90s. We'd get on the train and we'd just travel all around the country to see bands. And we didn't matter if we were late coming back, we went dead. What we basically did was we went dead early. And we went around HMV, and we're in HMV, and Page Hamilton's in the folk section. And of course, because he likes folk music, doesn't he? So we went up to him, we were like, oh my God, it's Page Hamilton. Went up to him, hey, how you doing? Do you know what? He was the nicest guy. He really was the nicest guy. We chatted and said, we're coming to the gig tonight. He asked where you're from and blah, blah, blah. We travelled on the train. He signed my ticket, which I've got in a book somewhere up in my loft. I've still got it. He signed it, Page Hamilton. And as we were leaving, we said, we'll see you later. And as we were leaving, me and Dave were like, we just met Page Hamilton. How fucking cool is that? We look back and he's just there, and he kind of looks at us. He's turning around and he kind of just puts his shades on in the middle of the shop. He was so cool. He really was. And then later on, we're outside the venue. And like I say, me and Dave, we used to sit there early. And next minute, side door opens and John Stanier comes out. Now, John Stanier for me is my favourite drummer of all time. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going today. It's John, look, it's John. It's Stanier. Stanier, cool. He starts walking over and he does the, hey. And we go, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, John Stanier's coming to talk to us. Day knows how much of a John Stanier fan I was. And I was going, Day. And he's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, I know, he's coming, I know. And as he's just about to get to us, he's about to chat, the door opens again. And it's Henry. And he goes, John. And he turns back to him and he looks and he goes, come here a minute. And he goes, I'll see you guys later. And he walked in and we never spoke to him again. Fucking Bogdan. Henry, what are you doing? I was just about to chat to one of my favourite drummers of all time and you fucking interrupted me. I never got to speak to him again. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Back in 97 that was. Anyway, we saw him in the Rock City. The room downstairs, I say downstairs, it's this room, the level, the same level as the when you go up in the steps. They were incredible. They really were. They had the other guitarist, the other guy towards the end. I can't think of his name. Jesus, Connor. I think it's Connor. He's in Bush now, I think. Yeah, he was on guitar. It was incredible. It was a tiny room, so good. So I'm so glad I got to see Helmet live. Anyway, enough about that. So there we are. That's that ranking there. Okay, number 3 is Born Annoying. I love this release. This is early Helmet. It's raw. It's probably it's the earliest release they had. I believe these are 2 EPs put together. That's what this release was. So yeah, look at that. Classic front cover, classic Rust, classic Clamp era Helmet. Early days, there you go. Track listings there. Very early Helmet. In fact, Bogdan's even got dreads. That's how his dreadlocks, that's how early it is. So some crackers on this. Born Annoying from 89. There's also a Born Annoying from 93 on it, because it's 2 singles put into one. Rumble, Shirley MacLaine. Your Head, Oven. Oh, No Nicky No. I think Oven is a cover by maybe the Melvins, but I might be wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I know. And maybe it might be the Oven or it might be No Nicky No, but one of them is a cover. And I can't think which one it is, but it's great. It really is great. Yeah, this is a great early release of Helmet where it's dead raw and it's dead, it's like, when they're really sort of enthusiastic sort of thing. So this release is a reissue. Hadn't got this. I haven't had this for that long. Pea colour vinyl. That literally looks like pea, doesn't it? To be fair. Wow. There you go. Looks like a glass of pea. Look at that. But it's a beautiful record anyway. So yeah, that is why this list, I get listened to this quite a bit. This is why it's number 3. I listen to this one quite a bit. I love the rawness. I love the early energy of it. And there's just great tracks on it. Yeah. So that's why that one is number 3. And Noise Amphetamine as well. Early releases. Great stuff. Okay, number 2. Betty. Yeah, Betty for me is a very... Betty was like... I think Betty was coming out when I got into them, or had just come out when I got into them. And great album. Blew me away. Very different to like their other stuff. Very different. Very, very cleanly done. Very mellow parts, but heavy bits in it as well. Production on it is superb. I do believe there is... Oh, what was it now? There was an article recently about the making... Someone asked John Stania on like a vlog about the making of this album, and it blew my head off because I found out the ways they recorded it. Basically, the guy who recorded this was like a hip hop producer or like recording artist. So he put that element into the recording, and you can kind of hear it. It's so sort of clean and beautiful. Some of the tracks on it, actually. There you go. So this is the 10-inch vinyl, which we'll get into. So there's your back cover. There's your track listings at the bottom there. So before we get into this release, there's your lyrics there, and there's your picture. You think it's Betty, but you don't know who it is. I think it is Betty. It's supposed to be Betty. So this is the 10-inch release. Now, this is very much sought after. I didn't realise until only the last 10 years that this release has 2 unused tracks that aren't on the original LP or the CD. Now, I've had the original CD for years, yeah, and it doesn't have those 2 tracks on it. And that's one of the releases from back in the day. Oh, and while we're at it, there's the other one, and that's the one with the live tracks on the back from Wilmer's Rainbow EP. But those don't have the 2 tracks from this on it. And the 2 tracks are Thick and Pariah. Now, you can hear them on YouTube for free. I was amazed. So, I've been into Helmet since 1994, and I know all their stuff. And yet, these 2 tracks from nearly 30 years ago, just discovered them. And I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it. And they're only available on this 10-inch. And this is why this is very sought after. Can get quite pricey. Yeah, I'm well happy to have it. Also, you get flushings on this, which is on the Biscuits for Smut single. I do have it up there. I think I do on yellow vinyl somewhere. Yeah, I think that's as well as on this. I don't know whether they take any tracks off, actually. Is there anything overrated's on here? Sam Hell. I think Sam Hell's taken off. Yeah, so the only difference with this is Sam Hell has been removed. You don't get that. It's a shame. It's not a full complete set then, is it? But still, there you go. So this is 2 10-inch records. These are just on black. Nice white inners. They're a bit dusty. I don't know how they get so dusty being on a shelf encased, but they are bloody dusty. But they're 10-inch vinyl. Nice inners there. And that one there. Like I say, dirty as hell, man. Why is it so dirty? I don't understand. Okay. And then I've got to show you them all, so then you've seen them all for continuity. There you go. Nice inners. That one there. So yeah, number 2, Betty. The only reason I think it doesn't reach number 1 for me is it Silver Hawaiian, that plinky plonky weirdness one. It's good, but do you need it? Probably not. But still, it's a great album. What other track listings on here, I didn't even get into it. Milk Toast, amazing. Wilmer's Rainbow, superb. Biscuits for Smut. Tick, Rolo, Street Crab, superb. Clean as well. Yeah. Great tracks on this, man. Superb stuff. Number 2, Betty. So my number 1 is, and always will be, Meantime. What an album. Holy hell. This album, front to back, untouchable. Absolutely untouchable. It's just so good. It's so good. There's your back. There's your track listings on the back. Every track on this, absolutely superb. In the Meantime, Ironhead, Give It, Unsung, music video. You Borrowed, Better, He Feels Bad, Role Model. For me, though, the absolute belter on this is FBLA 2. FBLA 2 is an unbelievable track because it has amazing groove, but because you've got this amazing drum fill by John Stania in between, and it's so beautifully clean and so beautifully done. The whole thing, he's got a whole little segment that he does on FBLA 2. I implore you even, get the words out, Tinman. If you don't know this band, check out Meantime. It's the album to check them out, it really is. And then get FBLA 2 on. It's so good. It's so good. I had the original of this release on vinyl, but then this reissue came out and I actually sold the original and made double the money, and then bought this one as well, and then bought something else. So with this, I think I've got the inners from the original still. So there's just Meantime there, and the lyrics there. kind of yellowy. It's kind of that old, you know, from the 90s. Okay, now this reissue, I just had to say yes. And is that side A? Yes. So here we go. Look at this. Oh, wow. Love that. Love the split colour. I mean, I've got loads of split colour vinyl, but the red and the blue on this is absolutely perfect. Look at the splodge on that. The little bleed through with the red on the blue. That one's perfectly clean almost. There's a tiny bit of blue coming through there. And then on side B, look at that. Nice dark patch there. Oh, it's beautiful looking record. It fits so well, doesn't it? It really does. But yeah, Meantime, number one, always will be. You can put it on any time, and any track is superb. There's no duff ones on this. It's an absolute belter. Put them on the map, I think. Meantime did. Really did. And yeah, it's untouchable. It's untouchable. Really is. So there you go. That is my helmet ranking of the albums from 90 to 97. Like I say, I don't do the new stuff. Hats off that they're still doing it, but I don't feel it's the same. For me, Helmet was Page, John, Henry, and Rob, or Peter, depending on which guitarist era. But the early stuff with John Stanier especially, because he is my favourite drummer of all time. Untouchable band from 90 to 97, or they were before 90, but that's when they started releasing stuff anyway. Yeah, absolutely superb. Another reason that the new stuff, it's good. I've listened to it. It is good, and they are great musicians. I've heard the drummer, he's really good, and he plays John's stuff really well. Page's voice changed for me. He did something a little bit different. I just don't get it. They've come round recently on various tours, and I don't want to see them. I saw them in 97. They were astounding. I want to keep the memories it is. My missus went to see them on the Betty 25th reunion tour, or 20th reunion tour. She's like, "You're coming to see? They're doing playing Betty in full." I don't want to go. I didn't go. She came back and I said, "Was it good?" She goes, "Yeah, it was all right. It was okay." So there you go. But anyway, that's the ranking of the early Helmet stuff. Hope you've liked it. If you like it, let's have a comment down below. Share this about, and if you like it, subscribe. That'd be appreciated. Helps the channel. So until next time, we'll see you soon. Cheers.